1. A senior certified drafter C is training new hires on interpreting GD&T symbols. To promote adult learning, which instructional approach is most effective? A. Deliver a long lecture covering all symbols at once. B. Provide hands-on part models and have learners identify symbols in pairs. C. Assign a textbook chapter and quiz at the end. D. Offer a pre-recorded video with no interactive elements. 2. When evaluating a trainee's ability to produce accurate isometric drawings, which assessment method provides the most reliable measure of competency? A. Multiple choice test on isometric theory. B. Observation of them completing a timed isometric drafting task. C. Self-reflection questionnaire. D. Group discussion about isometric techniques. 3. A CD is revising a training module on CAD layer management. Which curriculum development step should be completed first? A. Design quizzes and assessments. B. Identify specific learning outcomes. C. Select instructional software. D. Host a workshop on CAD shortcuts. 4. A trainee frequently misinterprets sectional views. Which mentoring technique is most appropriate to improve accuracy? A. Providing repeated corrective feedback without explanation. B. Modeling correct interpretation and guiding the trainee through examples. C. Assigning additional readings only. D. Allowing the trainee to self-diagnose without support. 5. When communicating dimensioning standards to a diverse group, which strategy best ensures clarity? A. Using highly technical jargon to appear authoritative. B. Sending a detailed email only. C. Combining visual examples with plain language explanations. D. Speaking faster to cover more content. 6. A CD trainer wants to ensure their instruction aligns with ANSI ASME Y14 standards. Which action is most aligned with regulatory compliance? A. Using personal drafting preferences. B. Ignoring updated revisions for convenience. C. Reviewing the latest published standards and integrating them into training. D. Only adopting standards once trainees request them. 7. Which evaluation method best measures a learner's ability to apply tolerancing principles in real projects? A. True or false test. B. Group debate about tolerancing. C. Performance task involving applying tolerances to a part drawing. D. Filling out a survey on confidence levels. 8. A mentor observes a trainee struggling with CAD shortcuts. Which approach demonstrates effective adult learning support? A. Demonstrate shortcuts once and move on. B. Encourage the trainee to practice using spaced repetition. C. Assign memorization as homework. D. Recommend ignoring shortcuts until later. 9. When developing a drafting curriculum, which element ensures alignment between learning activities and assessment? A. Randomly selecting assignments. B. Using backward design principles. C. Having different instructors choose activities independently. D. Designing assessments before identifying goals. 10. During a live CAD demonstration, a trainee interrupts with a complex question. What is the best communication approach? A. Address it immediately, even if it disrupts flow. B. Dismiss it to keep pace. C. Acknowledge it and schedule time after the demo. D. Ask another trainee to answer it. 11. A CD must ensure drawings meet OSHA documentation standards. What is the first step? A. Apply company shortcuts. B. Review applicable OSHA rules for technical documentation. C. Ask peers for advice. D. Ignore OSHA unless an issue arises. 12. To strengthen mentoring relationships, a CD mentor should prioritize A. Delivering criticism without context. B. Regular check-ins and collaborative goal setting. C. One-time orientation only. D. Avoiding feedback to maintain comfort. 13. Which curriculum element most directly ensures trainees can interpret welding symbols? A. Instructional activities focusing solely on history. B. Outcomes specifying performance accuracy with welding symbols. C. Generic drafting theory outcomes. D. A final exam unrelated to welding. 14. A trainee creates repeated errors in auxiliary views. Which evaluation technique most effectively identifies the root cause? A. Peer voting. B. One-on-one performance review with verbal walkthrough. C. Anonymous survey. D. Written multiple choice test. 15. To improve communication during redline corrections, a CD should A. Provide long written notes without visuals. B. Use clear markups paired with brief verbal explanations. C. Only verbally explain changes. D. Avoid written corrections altogether. 16. Which mentoring strategy best supports a trainee transitioning from 2D to 3D modeling? A. Letting them struggle independently. B. Providing scaffolded guidance with gradually decreasing support. C. Completing the task for them. D. Giving only theoretical readings. 17. A CD must ensure technical drawing files follow company naming conventions. This requirement is best classified as A. Curriculum outcome. B. Compliance requirement. C. Optional styling preference. D. Informal recommendation. 18. An adult learner resists using parametric modeling. What communication technique is most effective? A. Explain benefits in terms of efficiency and real-world application. B. Ignore their concerns. C. Demand compliance without explanation. D. Assign unrelated tasks. 19. During curriculum revision, which step ensures regulatory alignment? A. Removing all regulatory content for simplicity. B. Mapping learning outcomes to standards and regulations. C. Deleting assessments. D. Allowing individual instructors to interpret standards however they want. 20. A novice drafter focuses more on speed than accuracy. What mentoring response is most effective? A. Praise speed and ignore errors. B. Review accuracy expectations and model proper workflows. C. Assign punitive tasks. D. Allow errors to accumulate. 21. Which adult learning strategy most supports mastery of complex dimensioning techniques? A. Rote memorization of terms. B. Project-based tasks requiring application. C. Watching passive tutorials only. D. Single high-stakes exam. 22. A CD trainer needs to evaluate CAD competency quickly. Which tool is most efficient and valid? A. 30-minute hands-on CAD modeling task. B. Long essays. C. Closed book theoretical exam only. D. Peer-nominated awards. 23. To ensure clarity when teaching blueprint reading, instructors should A. Use only text-based explanations. B. Integrate layered diagrams, animations, and real parts. C. Speak without visuals. D. Avoid learner questions. 24. A trainee drafts inconsistent line weights. Which evaluation approach identifies the problem fastest? A. Reviewing the drawing file layer settings. B. Asking for a verbal reflection only. C. Waiting for monthly review. D. Administering a theory quiz. 25. When complying with ISO drafting standards, a CD must prioritize A. Personal preferences. B. Reviewing and applying updated ISO guidelines. C. Ignoring standards to save time. D. Relying solely on coworker memory. 26. A training program teaches both manual and CAD drafting. To ensure balanced learning, the curriculum should A. Emphasize only CAD. B. Specify learning outcomes for both skill sets. C. Avoid assessments. D. Let trainees choose which to learn. 27. A trainee frequently forgets geometric constraint rules. Which technique improves retention most? A. Encouraging spaced, distributed practice. B. Single cram session. C. No practice required. D. Only written notes. 28. When mentoring new hires, a CD should first A. Provide tasks without expectations. B. Identify individual skill levels and goals. C. Impose identical tasks on all. D. Avoid conversations. 29. A CD wants to test whether learners can critique defective drawings. Which assessment is most appropriate? A. Drawing error identification activity. B. Vocabulary quiz. C. Attendance check. D. Self-report of confidence. 30. A technical drawing training session is falling behind schedule. What communication strategy keeps learning effective? A. Skip explanations entirely. Summarize key points concisely and provide supplemental materials. C. End the training early. D. Speed through content without structure. 31. A CD is documenting training compliance. What element is required? A. Personal opinions about trainees. B. Accurate records of completed modules and assessments. C. Irrelevant notes. D. Unverifiable feedback. 32. A trainee hesitates to ask questions. Which mentoring method encourages engagement? A. Public criticism. B. Establishing a supportive, non-judgmental environment. C. Ignoring the issue. D. Assigning more homework. 33. When aligning a drafting course with industry regulations, what is most critical? A. Mapping content to applicable standards and codes. B. Removing complex content. C. Relying on outdated guidelines. D. Reducing assessments. 34. A CD trainer notices that some trainees struggle to apply drafting tolerances in practical projects. Which instructional strategy is most effective to improve their competency? A. Assign additional reading on tolerances without practical exercises. B. Provide hands-on projects with step-by-step guidance and feedback. C. Give a multiple-choice quiz on tolerancing theory only. D. Allow trainees to figure it out independently without support.